Welcome to this powerful yoga practice in nature. Today we will work our entire body, legs, core, and shoulders. For me personally, yoga helped me feeling strong and powerful in my body. If you also want to feel like this, make sure to stay until the end to benefit from this practice. My name is Helen Bloom. Don't forget to subscribe and let's begin at the front of our mat. Let's begin at the front of our mat with the feet together. Take a moment to feel the earth underneath your feet. Close your eyes and then draw the lower belly in and breathe from the sacrum up until the crown of your head. Hold for a second, pull in your lower belly, and then exhale the same way. If you want, bring your palms in front of your heart together and then set the intention for today's practice. Then lower your gaze and sink your hands down to the left and right of your body, Samastitihi. Open your eyes and let's begin with Sun Salutation A, Surya Namaskara A. Inhale, lift your arms, gaze up. Exhale, forward fold, bend your knees if you want to. Inhale, halfway lift, straight spine. Exhale, step back into plank and lower yourself down to the mat. Lift your heart for baby cobra. We're here for 2 breaths or so. Make sure your elbows are close to your body and that your hands don't bear any weight. If you want a challenge, lift your hands. Take another breath in here. And on an exhale, push yourself back into a child's pose and straighten your legs for a first downward facing dog. If you want, you can walk the dog, look to the right and to the left. Just do whatever you want to do here for now. We're going to stay for another breath or so. And then on the next inhale, step to the front of the mat and halfway lift. Exhale, forward fold. On an inhale, come back up to standing, strong feet, lift your arms, gaze up. Exhale, lower your arms. Once more like this. Inhale, lift your arms, gaze up. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, step back, lower yourself down to the mat, and lift your heart for baby cobra once more. We're gonna stay for 3 deep breaths. On an inhale, make sure your sacrum presses into the ground. On an exhale, make sure your feet are pressing slightly into the earth. One more breath here. And then on an exhale, come to child's pose and straighten your legs for downward facing dog. We're gonna stay for 3 deep breaths. 1, 2, 3. On an inhale, come to the front of your mat, halfway lift. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, come back up to standing, strong legs. Exhale, Samastitihi, lower your arms. Let's continue with Sun Salutation B. Inhale, bend your knees, lift your arms, chair pose. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, step or jump back, chaturanga or to the floor. Inhale, upward facing dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. 1 breath here. And on an inhale, lift your right leg. Exhale, right leg between your hands. Lift yourself up into warrior 1. Stay for one breath here. And on an exhale, lower your hands to the mat, step back, chaturanga. Inhale, upward facing dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. On your next inhale, lift your left foot to the sky. On an exhale, step your left foot between your hands and come into warrior one position. We stay for one breath. On your next exhale, ground your palms, step back into plank, lower yourself down to chaturanga. Inhale, upward facing dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. Let's rest in downward facing dog for 1 or 2 breaths. This is also a reminder that you can take a break in child's pose anytime. There's nothing bad about this. You don't have to power through this. Then, on your next inhale, step or jump to the front of the mat, halfway lift. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, bend your knees, lift your arms, chair pose. Exhale, come back to standing. Gonna do one more like that. Inhale, chair pose. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, jump back, lower yourself down, chaturanga. Inhale, upward facing dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. Inhale, lift your right leg up to the sky. Exhale, right leg between the hands, come into warrior one. One breath here. On your next exhale, lower your palms, step back into plank, chaturanga. Inhale, upward facing dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. Let's switch it over to the other side. Inhale, straighten your left leg up to the sky. Exhale, left leg between your hands, come into warrior one. We stay for one breath here. On an exhale, ground your palms, step back into plank, really push the ground away here, then lower yourself down into chaturanga. Inhale, upward facing dog, lift your heart. Exhale, downward facing dog. Let's stay for 5 breaths. 1, suck your belly into the spine. 2, you want to really straighten those arms and press more into index finger and thumb. 3, your hips want to draw upwards towards the sky. 4 and 5. On your next inhale, step or jump to the front of the mat into halfway lift. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, come up to chair pose. Exhale, Samastitihi. Now stay here for a moment, catch your breath, and notice how your body feels right now. Let's continue. On an inhale, bend your knees and lift your arms for chair pose. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, step or jump back into plank, then lower yourself down to chaturanga, upward facing dog, and on an exhale, downward facing dog. From here, straighten your right leg and lift it up towards the sky, 3-legged dog, and then bend the right knee and draw circles with your knees into one direction for 1. Make sure to make them really big and really slow. 2, we're mobilizing our hip joint here. 3, 4, and 1 more. 5. Now reverse the circle for 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. On an inhale, straighten your right leg, On an exhale, step your right leg in between your hands and then come up into a warrior two position. The outward edge of your left foot presses into the mat and your right knee is over the right ankle. Make sure you see your right big toe. Your front heel should be lined up with your back arch. Now, keep your front knee bent and on an inhale, reach your right arm forward and then bring your right forearm to rest on the top of your right thigh with the right palm facing upwards. Then open your chest and bring your left arm forward and gaze towards the ceiling. Stay with me here for 5 deep breaths in this extended side angle pose, Parshva Konasana. Either stay here or if you want to go a little bit deeper and it feels well in your body, then bring your right fingertips on the inside of your right foot and breathe here. If this is really easy for you and really accessible, you might want to take a bind for binded side angle pose. And if you're in the bind, you really want to lean towards your right leg and open your chest, pull the upper shoulder a little bit back and breathe with me here. So it's gonna stay for 1 or 2 more deep breaths. And then wherever you are, make sure you come out really slowly of this position. Come back into warrior two. Inhale here. And on an exhale, lower your palms to the mat. Step back. Exhale, chaturanga. Inhale, upward facing dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. Really good job. Let's switch it over to the other side. On an inhale, lift your left foot up until the sky and then bend your leg and circle with your knee for 1. Make sure you're making the circles really big. 2, we're mobilizing the hip joint here. 3, slow and controlled movements. 4 and 5. Switch your circles around and circle into the other direction for 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Really nice. On an inhale, extend your leg again. Exhale, step your left leg between your hands and come into a warrior two position. Your left knee is stacked over the left ankle and your heels are lined up into one line. And then make sure you press into the mat with the right outward edge of your foot. From here, while keeping your knee bent, your left arm reaches forward and place your left arm on the left thigh and then look up into the sky and circle your right arm forward, extended side angle pose. You really want to search for one straight line from the right heel to your right fingertips. Now, if this is easy for you and you want to go one step further, you might place your left fingertips on the inside of your right, on your left foot, and then breathe here. If this is really easy for you, you might want to take a bind here. If you take the bind, then make sure you open your right shoulder, pull the right shoulder a little bit back and really lift your heart. Gaze towards the sky or the ceiling. We're gonna stay for 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Wherever you are, release. Come back into warrior two. Bend that left knee a little bit more. And then circle your arms down. Step back into plank, chaturanga, Inhale, upward facing dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. Let's stay for 2 breaths here. Take a deep inhale. Pull your breath from the sacrum to the crown of your head. And then exhale it all the way out. Suck in your lower belly. From here, step or jump between your hands and come into a seated position, and we meet straight away in boat pose, Navasana. Option 1, you can keep your knees bent and hold on to the back of your thighs, and then make sure your spine is nice and straight, and stay with me here. Or if you want more, you can release the arms and straighten your arms, and we're gonna stay for 5 breaths here. For 1, 2. If this is really easy, you can also straighten your legs. 3, 4, and 5. On an exhale, lower to low boat. What is important here is that your lower back is on the mat. If it's not possible with straight legs, bend your knees. Your feet can be on the ground and bend. We're gonna stay for 1, 2, really strong center. 3, 4, and 5. Crunch up and then place your palms on the ground and push yourself up. Sit back down and let's come straight back to our second round, Navasana. We're gonna stay for 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Inhale here. On an exhale, again, I want you to come into your low boat position. Lower back is on the mat. We're gonna stay for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Crunch back up. Plant your palms on the mat and lift yourself up. And come back to seated for our third round, Navasana. We're gonna stay for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. You know what it is. Low boat position. 5. You can do it. 4. Bend your knees if you have to. 3, 2, 1. Crunch back up. Place your palm on the ground. Lift yourself up. And then release. And lower yourself down onto your back really slowly. Take a moment to catch your breath. And now I want you to place your feet in hip width distance, and we're gonna come into bridge pose. If your feet are closer to your hip, it will be more hard, it will be more of a back bend. If your feet are further apart, it's a little bit more easy on your spine. So yeah, take the position that feels comfortable for you, and on an inhale, roll your spine up vertebra by vertebra and come into your bridge pose. We're gonna stay here for 5 deep breaths. Really ground yourself into the big toes so that your insides of your thighs are really activated here. Now it is important to not arch your spine too much here, but rather push your sacrum up into the sky. Lift your hips as far as you can. We're gonna stay for 1 more breath here. And on an exhale, lower yourself down. Now for the next 3 repetitions, you can either come back into bridge pose, or if you're familiar with wheel pose, place your hands next to your ears, and then on an inhale, lift your hips and then push into your hands and come into your full wheel pose. We're gonna stay for 5 breaths. 1. Make sure you press more into the insides of your toes. 2. You focus more on lifting your heart instead of scrunching your back muscles. 3. Your lower belly stays in. You really want to focus breathing into your chest here. 4. Straighten your legs a little bit more. And then 5, place your head onto the floor and then walk your hands towards your feet and push up again. If this is too hard, just go for second round or come into bridge pose. We're gonna stay for 5 breaths. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Release. Lower yourself down to the mat and draw circles with your knees over your hips. Take a moment here. And once you're ready, I want you to come into a seated forward fold, Paschimottanasana. We're going to stay for 10 deep breaths. Breathe in deeply through the nose and also breathe out deeply through the nose. It's really important after those back bends to bend the spine into the other way, so really stay here with me and let your nervous system relax after this energizing back bends. If your mind wanders off and starts screaming that you don't want to be in this position, gently bring your attention back to your breath and focus on deep breathing in and out through the nose. And don't get mad at yourself. Just accept those thoughts coming up and then you can let them go. We are gonna stay here for another moment, another 1 or 2 deep breaths. And then I want you to lay down on your back and straighten your legs, lift them up towards the sky for waterfall position. We're gonna stay here for some breaths. If you want, you can come into a reclined straddle position. Let your feet open wide to the right and left, and just feel into this stretch for a moment. We're not gonna stay for too long here. Take one more deep breath in and out. And then close your legs with your hands and pull the right knee in towards your chest. Lower your left leg towards the ground. Your lower back stays on the ground. If it can't, bend your left leg. And then inhale here. Pull the right knee in a little bit closer and then open your right arm to the right and pull the right knee over towards your left for a reclined twist. Your knee doesn't have to reach all the way towards the ground. This posture should feel really nice on your back, so don't go too deep here. Then feel the twist. Let your breath flow completely natural now. Then slowly come back through center and switch it over to the other side. Pull in your left knee towards your chest. Breathe here for a moment. And then open the left arm towards the left and pull your right knee over to the right for a reclined twist. Again, your knee does not have to reach the floor. This stretch should feel really nice and your shoulders should stay on the mat. Then notice how this posture feels for you today. And gently release, come back to the middle and If you feel like doing shavasana, I'm gonna link you a video here. You can just go there straight away. If not, come with me to a cross-legged position. Place your palms onto each other and close your eyes, lower your gaze, and take a moment to notice how your body feels now. And then lift your thumbs to the point between your eyebrows for clear thoughts, to your mouth for always speaking the truth, and to your heart. May your heart guide you through this journey called life. And thank you for practicing here with me today. You can be really proud of yourself for having joined me on this quite challenging yet fun class today. And if you like this video, please leave me a comment. I'm always open for feedback, comments, complaints, whatever you want to say in the caption, say it. And if you want to meet me in person, you could join me for one of my yoga retreats. All information can be found on my website. There's also some last minute deals right now for the Portugal retreat I'll be hosting end of October. So I would really love to meet some of you there. And yes, I hope you have a beautiful day. Thanks a lot for stepping onto the mat with me. If you haven't done it yet, please subscribe to my channel, and then I wish you a beautiful day and see you next time. Bye bye.